Make some noise for your amazing host.
What's up, everyone? My name is Joelle and I'm your online host today, and I'm so excited you're here because we have a lot in store for you. You guys, we're gonna get into a fun pre-show video, we're gonna do some worship together, and get into a Bible story. You guys, buckle up, it's gonna be so much fun.
And start. Well, what's up, everybody? We are here to do another round of VR where we have basically 5 minutes to do this whole thing. I have 60 seconds to explain the game and get Katie ready.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
She has 3 minutes to play the game, and you have 1 minute to review the game. Let me see your right hand.
What?
Put your right hand here.
Wait, what is this?
Katie, have you played VR before ever? No? Okay.
Wait, how do I hold this? Oh.
Like that.
Wait, okay.
Have you played a video game before?
Barely.
Barely? Okay,
I
so
played Forza.
today, I have 30 seconds. Today we are playing Google Earth VR. You know Google, like
You're
where
gonna play
you...
the whole Earth?
The Earth?
Yeah.
Google?
So we're going to see places around the world. We've never played it, so this could completely bomb. I have 20 seconds. What else should we say?
Teach me how to use this thing.
Okay, so there's definitely, you're gonna like press A, you'll press B, you can...
Am I gonna be able to see it?
No, you're gonna be able to see it through here.
10 seconds.
Oh.
You have 10 seconds.
Wait,
Okay.
what about these side things?
That will hopefully, you'll use those at some point. I have 4
Okay.
seconds. Put those on your head and get started. See ya.
Okay, see ya.
Whoa,
You're in
there's
space.
like so many
You're in the sun.
stars. Whoa, you guys.
Whoa.
Wait, where?
Why are you? Why are you?
on a cloud?
I'm like, yeah, where am I?
Katie, are you
I'm
feeling?
flying.
Are you like at all?
Half a dome.
Do you feel butterflies in your stomach because you're so
Yeah,
high?
it's really crazy.
It's like soaring over California.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm like just flying through space.
Oh, press a button. Press a button, Katie.
Is there music playing?
I bet there's like a.
Oh, it stopped.
Oh, look
I
at
didn't see
it.
that.
Ooh, skip intro. What did that say? Press that button with your left. Nope, it's
Oh
got
my
it.
goodness.
Ooh.
Dude, you
Oh.
skipped that intro so. Whoa! Learn how to.
Learn.
You've got the whole world.
Okay,
Drag the Earth.
we're 1 minute down. Katie, you have
Pull
2
the
minutes left.
trigger.
To
I can
drag
go
the
wherever
Earth.
I want.
Fly towards the
cool.
earth. Step 2, fly towards the earth. No, Katie, don't move.
Katie,
Katie,
don't
no.
move.
You're gonna throw
walk a
off.
long way.
You'll throw.
Wait, point it where you want to fly and press forward or backwards.
Katie, you're going beyond bounds.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Woo!
Katie,
What? I'm in the middle of the ocean.
you're going somewhere.
Can you
I'm-
swim?
Press like back on it too, and you can probably go out.
I
Oh, the
can't-
Philippines.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, can I find Guam? I'm gonna zoom
Sure.
in.
Oh yeah, you can find your husband's family.
That's where my husband is from.
We can't show that.
Cebu.
What?
Oh man, that
What?
Cebu.
This is great.
Where should I
Go
go?
visit someone's house.
You gotta get closer.
Ooh, this
Do the
pool. I'm
Mercado
going to the
private
pool,
pool.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The private pool. Katie has 60 seconds left.
I don't know.
Katie, you have 60 seconds left. Ooh,
What
look,
am I
Sky
doing?
Experience Adventure. You're already doing that.
Yeah,
Go
I
there.
already do that.
Yeah, don't go to Sky Experience
Wait.
Adventure.
I'm going.
Samba
there.
too. Where are we, by the way? We're in the
here we
Philippines.
go.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh yes.
Whoa!
That's actually really cool.
I can see my house from here.
No, Chris.
You don't
This, I don't think
You don't know how
Whoa,
low to
whoa.
go.
Oh man,
That's my house.
Okay, it kind
I
of feels
just went
like
through
you're
the building.
Superman right now.
You're Godzilla.
I like literally am in a building, but I can't feel anything. Oh,
Katie, you are in a building. Like we're in a building right now. Katie,
Not that one.
can you like feel the wind on you too?
I can feel the wind. It smells like burritos.
That's like moss all
that
over
is a
building.
really gooey building.
Yeah.
Whoa. Look at all this
This
stuff.
looks like my 4th grade missions project. I had to like build a building.
Where else should I go? Ooh, there's so many colorful places. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a nice.
Figure out,
Oh, I
Katie. You have
feel
to tell
like
us
I'm
what that is.
flying. I don't know. It's
Tell us what it
it's
is.
a fountain
Okay.
or trees, but the trees look.
This
really
is like
weird.
so real.
Except for the trees.
Like
Yeah, look at the trees.
2,
One.
Goodness.
That's it.
Place the Earth in front of you.
Katie, what's your review on this?
Well, I feel really hot.
Okay,
I don't know why.
First, you started out you were
Made me-
exploring a bunch of places,
That was
and then
cool.
you were like literally out in outer space.
Yeah, I really do feel like I was just flying around. I'm kind of disoriented.
Did it make it? Was it kind of weird though, a little bit?
It was weird. At one point, I was like inside a building, but I wasn't. I was just like standing on top of it, but I was inside it. So.
Where did we end up going? I literally don't even know.
The Philippines.
It was the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We
Cebu.
saw Cebu, and we saw a cool like fountain.
Fountain?
Gooey building.
So there's
Yeah,
gooey
that building
buildings
that was, like,
and
all
fountains. What was it?
It was like a building was like being made, and it was like all like not.
You know what we should do
I don't
next
know.
time? Okay, we should go to Area 51 and the Bermuda Triangle. Next time.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time for another round of VR. Bye, guys.
You guys, that pre-show video was so much fun. Next, we're gonna dive into a time of worship and sing some songs together. And then after that, we're gonna hear from the Bible story.
It takes faith to know that you're here with me. It takes faith to know that you're next to me. It takes trust to let you lead me. It takes trust to do what you tell me. I'll follow your way, your way, your way, your way, your way. 'Cause what you say is true. I put my trust, my trust, my trust in the one who stays. I put my faith in you. Faith is being sure of the things we hope for, hope for, hope for. And faith is knowing that something is real, even if we don't see it. Oh, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Oh, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. What you say is true. What you say is true. It takes faith to know that you're here with me. It takes faith to know that you're next to me. It takes trust to let you lead me. It takes trust to do what you tell me. I'll follow your way, your way, your way, your way, your way. 'Cause what you say is true. I put my trust, my trust, my trust in the one who stays. I put my faith in you. Faith is being sure of the things we hope for, hope for, hope for. And faith is knowing that something is real, even if we don't see it. I believe, 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 I believe in you. I believe, 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 I believe in you. Faith is being sure of the things we hope for, hope for, hope for. And faith is knowing that something is real, even if we don't see it. Oh, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Oh, I believe in you. Oh, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. What you say is true. What you say is true. It takes faith.
What's impossible for people is possible with my God. There are so many things that can't be done by human hands alone. But when I trust in Jesus,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 3 of Beyond Bounds, a podcast where we're taking a look at the miracles of Jesus. Now, today we're going to be working on a science experiment. We're going to be making hydrophobic sand. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at a story. It's about a nighttime boat ride and how a possible ghost sighting proves that Jesus has the power to do the impossible. His power is endless, and he uses his power to bend heaven and earth just to be with you. So let's jump in and go beyond bounds. So guys, I want to introduce you to the rest of our crew. Of course, over here we have Mrs. Coyote, who's going to be sharing our story today.
What's up, guys?
And doing audio for us, we have Chris Merrill.
Ni hao.
Where did Chris go? Well, anyways, we also have a very special guest with us today. Will you guys please help me welcome Delaney? Come on in.
Woo, woo.
So Delaney, now I need your help with a couple sounds. So you're going to be in this story with your voice. So first, can you give me a yawn sound? Perfect. Okay, Delaney, can you say, "Is that a ghost?"
Is that a ghost?
Don't be afraid. The I Am is here.
Don't be afraid. The I Am is here.
Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you.
Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you.
All right, now say, "Save me, Lord."
Save me, Lord.
Your next one is, "Why did you doubt me?"
Why did you doubt me?
And the last one is, "You really are the Son of God."
You really are the Son of God.
Perfect. All right, come over here. I have a lab coat for you. And Chris, while she puts her lab coat on, can we test out some of those sounds?
Don't be afraid.
Chris,
Don't be
that sounds
afraid.
great. So Kelly, take it away.
All right, you guys, our story today happens right after Jesus just finished feeding the thousands of people on the side of a mountain. Now, if we've noticed a trend, Jesus and his disciples love hanging out in a boat. This story starts no differently. So Jesus and his disciples, they get into the boat and they head over to the other side of a lake. Now, at this point, Jesus takes off by himself to go up onto the hill to pray alone. And that's when night fell. The sun set and it's dark. Now, the disciples, they were sitting on the boat. They were keeping an eye on things, and they were out in the middle of the lake floating on this boat when all of a sudden a storm hit. It was like a hurricane. There was wind and rain, and it was crazy, and they were sloshing all over the place.
I'm guessing if you've been following Beyond Bounds so far, this story sounds familiar. It's kind of like the story a few weeks ago about Jesus calming the storm. We know that from that story, Jesus has awesome power. But now we're going to see that Jesus' power invites us to do the impossible.
God doesn't just bend heaven and earth. He bends heaven and earth to be with you. He loves us so much that he asks us and invites us to be part of what he is doing.
All right, so we're going to jump back into our story in just a second. But right now, Delaney, are you ready for us to get into the experiment?
Yep.
Okay, so what we have is a cup and some sand and some water. Now, Delaney, take a look at the sand. Does that look like, what do you notice about the sand? Anything interesting?
It's blue.
It's blue, right? It's blue. So we're going to take some water. We're going to pour it into our cup. Delaney, when I pour this blue sand into here, what do you think is going to happen?
It might look like water.
It might look like water. Mrs. Cody, what do you think is going to happen?
I think maybe it'll dissolve.
It'll dissolve. Okay, if
Yeah.
I were to give a guess, I would say that it's going to turn into snow.
Ooh.
Have you ever seen that before? Like
No.
the sand? Okay, so here's what our guesses are. We're going to see what happens when we pour our sand into the water. But first, let's jump back into our story.
So at this point, the disciples have been in the boat and the storm has gotten crazy, and they've been fighting the storm, and they were feeling really, really tired. And at this point, it's now about 3 o'clock in the morning, which is kind of a weird time of the day. They're really tired, it's dark, and all of a sudden they look out onto the water and they see this figure walking towards them. Now, of course, the disciples are thinking maybe our mind is playing a trick on us. Maybe it's a ghost. We don't know what it is. And they were pretty scared. They weren't sure what was happening when all of a sudden they heard a voice that said,
"Don't be afraid. The I Am is here."
Now, anytime we hear the phrase I am, we know that that is God or Jesus talking. So at that point, Peter says,
"Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you."
This is so good. Right there we see that Jesus is the same God that created our entire world. He wasn't just walking on a pool noodle, right? He didn't have special shoes that floated. He was literally able to suspend gravity from pulling him into the lake. That's crazy. Jesus has total control over physics or the rules that govern the world.
It's totally impossible for us to break the rules of physics, but Jesus, well, guys, Jesus made these rules so he can change them whenever and however he wants to. And not only that, but he actually invites us to be part of these miracles.
All right, we're going to continue with our story in just a second, but Delaney, it's time for part 2 of our science experiment. So we all said what we thought would happen with our water and sand, and right now we're going to pour the sand into the cup.
All of it?
All of it, yeah.
Here we go.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Whoa.
All right, so what I want to do is we're going to let the sand sit in the water for a little bit because I want to make sure that it's super, super wet, all right? So we'll just let that sit, and while we do that, let's jump back into our story.
Now, we just left off with Jesus calling Peter out of the boat and to walk to him on the water. Jesus didn't ask Peter to swim to him. He didn't ask him to paddle over to him. He said, Peter, get out of the boat and walk on top of the water to me. Now, I don't know about you guys. This is kind of a big ask and probably sounds pretty impossible, but Peter was willing to give it a shot. So Peter goes over to the side of the boat. He steps over and his feet hit the water. And when they hit the water, it's like he's standing on a sidewalk and he begins to walk towards Jesus. Now, at this point, he's looking at Jesus, but then Peter notices how strong the wind is, and he notices the waves, and he notices the rain. And for a moment, Peter takes his gaze off of Jesus. And in that moment, Peter gets scared and he actually begins to sink into the water. And so he shouted,
Save me, Lord.
So right away, Jesus reaches out and grabs Peter by the arm and pulls him out of the water. And Jesus asked,
Why did you doubt me?
That's when Jesus and Peter got back in the boat and the wind completely stopped. And in this moment, after the disciples saw what had just happened, they know for sure that this is Jesus. And so they fell to their knees and they began worshiping him and saying,
You really are the Son of God.
See, the main reason that Jesus did the miracles that we're talking about in this series was to prove to people that he was God. The disciples, they totally saw that when he walked on water. We know that we can have faith in Jesus because Jesus is God.
You guys, that's so true. We know that when things seem scary or when we feel like we're stuck in a situation that we can't get out of, we can have faith that Jesus will keep us safe no matter what. Just like he did when he reached out and he grabbed Peter from the water to stop him from sinking.
And that is our story, which means that we have to see what happened in our experiment. So Delaney, we let this sit here for a little bit. The sand looks kind of weird, so let's pour the water out. Pretty good. Pretty good. Whoa. What just happened? I think that this sand is completely dry. Will you touch this and confirm?
It's like how it was before.
It's how it was before. I don't think the water...
No water touched it.
Okay, so here's the secret about this sand. It's that it's hydrophobic sand.
Hydrophobic?
Yep. Okay, so that means that this sand is afraid of water. So it tries not to touch water at all, even when it's fully submerged. It stays totally dry. See?
That's awesome.
It kind of reminds me of Jesus walking on water. He stayed dry even though he should have sank. So how does this help us? Well, first, we should remember that we are humans, so we can't walk on water like Jesus did. So don't try that at home with your friends, okay?
I tried it before. It didn't
But
work.
really, it means that we can have faith or trust in Jesus no matter what. I'm going to let you in on something important. Life is hard. Yep. Every single one of you will go through many good things in your life, but also you're going to go through some bad things. It happens to everyone because our world is full of sin. But even though that's true, it's also true that Jesus has a plan for our life that's better than anything we could have ever hoped for. So when the bad times come, Jesus is by our side. When the good times are there, Jesus is by your side. And his power invites you to do the impossible. He can see the way out, and He will help you get to the awesome stuff He has planned for you down the road. You just have to remind yourself that Jesus has got you. In Luke 18:27, Jesus replies, "Whatever is impossible for people is possible with God." So here's my challenge to you. How will you get real about having faith in Jesus today? That's it for this episode. Thank you, Delaney, for coming in. That was fantastic. I'm signing off. I'm Mr. Coyote.
I'm Mrs. Coyote.
And Chris, say goodbye.
Set ya.
We'll see you guys next time for another episode of Beyond Bounds.
You guys, I've had a blast today being your online host. Now don't forget, there's so much more for you to do at home on sandalskids.tv. You guys, thanks so much for choosing us, and I'll see you next week.